the first thing yang kita kena faham ni is what is market cycle. So I nak tunjuk example of market cycle from 2008 sampailah tahun lepas. Just to give you a perspective, right? In the cycle kita ni kat mana. So 2008-2009 is era whereby kita ada slump of property market. That was like 12-13 years ago, right? So kita ada slump in property market. It was also a global financial recession. And that would be the time that I bought a lot of properties, right? 2010 hingga 2012, that was the recovery. 2013 hingga 2015, that was the boom time. And then kita ada slowdown since 2016 all the way to 2019. So this was our 12-year punya cycle, just to give everyone some level of perspective. So I bought a lot of property waktu slump. Okay, I bought a lot of property waktu slump ni. This is when you really want to buy, right? And I benefited, you know, during the recovery and the boom, which then I call the property bull run lah, from 2010 until 2015. That's when you beli apa pun, almost everything become double in value in just 3 hingga 4 tahun, right? So there's a bunch of property that make money, there's a bunch of property that make insane amount of money, 1.7 million per unit, right? Pun ada, right? So that's what happened bila you beli waktu slump and slow down, and then lepas tu you tunggu recovery and bull run to happen. And of course, kalau you nak jual, you want to sell waktu boom, when everyone is talking about property, that is the time that you nak jual. Okay guys, so this is a general real estate cycle everywhere in the world, not just dekat Malaysia. Okay, so this to give you a point of view. And of course, yang the timeline 2008-2009 is Malaysia specific market. Yang ni pun Malaysia. So this talking about Malaysia punya context punya timeline. So now, hari ni kita dah kat mana guys? So I believe, and if you look at the data yang akan bagi tahu dengan you yang hari ni kita ni dalam kategori slump again, and the slump has started last year and will continue until end of this year, right? If all goes as per the last round, starting from next year you will see a recovery. Property bull run will be in full swing 2024 onwards. Okay. So essentially saying, the moment you see a kenaikan interest rate mendadak, right, over a short period of time, say 6 bulan, that's when you want to sell because you are basically reaching a market punya peak. Now this is for orang yang nak speculate. Okay. Of course, if you ask me, I prefer to beli and keep for 20 years because you make a lot more money keeping over 20 years compared to simpan over 5 hingga 6 tahun. But like I said, once you understand the property cycle, investment cycle, you can do some form of orang cakap educated speculation. So you bukan speculate bodoh-bodoh. You speculate with educated punya facts, right? So if you want to play this game, the window to buy here is 2020 hingga 2021, and then you want to sell most likely for 2026. Okay, so this is where we are as of now. Okay, now I'm going to give you a description of people yang beli in each of the cycle. So you see I letak line merah tengah-tengah ni, right? This is the middle, right? So the people who will buy during slowdown dengan slump ni are people who are normally a sophisticated investor, dia akan beli waktu ni. People who will tend to make money will buy waktu ni, and people who many years from now orang akan cakap kau ni bernasib baik. You are lucky guys, right? So these are the people who will buy waktu slump dengan waktu slowdown, because today real estate not popular, right? People, everyone talking about stock, talking about Bitcoin dan apa semua tu, right? And that's the reason why the smart investors will buy hari ni, will buy last year, right? Now, who will buy waktu recovery and property bull run? Your wannabe punya investor, and people who are about to lose money because they buy market punya peak. Lepas tu last kali tu is people who buy based on apa yang tengah hot. So the get rich quick punya suckers lah basically, right? So now guys, as of today you have the option. You want to be a true blue investor, okay, or you can be a get rich quick punya suckers. No right or wrong, you just have to know and you just have to take a position lah, senang cerita. Okay, but if you want to make money, you cannot buy property at the peak in the middle of a recovery and then expecting to make a lot of money out of properties. Okay, so like I said, if I were you, I want to be the guys on your right, bukan on your left. You want to be a true blue investor who beli waktu slow down and market slump, bukannya waktu recovery dengan boom bila harga dah mahal, right? You want to buy when things are cheap, things are depressed like today, compared to buying properties when things are expensive. Okay, now I give you an example, and this is the first property that I bought, right, to really illustrate this example. Now, in the year 2000, tahun 2000, right, you can buy this property for 120,000. Kelana Puteri ni dekat dengan Kelana Jaya, dia boleh jalan kaki pergi Paradigm Mall. 120,000 was harga pada tahun 2000, right? And then tahun 2005, dia dah naik 30,000 after 5 years, so naik dia sikit je, 30,000 je. So bolehlah buat duit sikit kan, right? And then this is when I bought. Pada tahun 2005, I bought about 140,000. I'm an investor, so I tend to buy cheaper compared to market, of course. Lepas tu 2009 tu, at the peak of the slump, dia masih naik 20,000 je. Tapi 4 tahun naik 20,000, setahun naik 5,000 lah. Agak sedih lah. So bayangkan guys, I beli property ni pada tahun 2005 140,000 tu, lepas 4 tahun pegang baru naik 20,000, 30,000. There's nothing great lah about it. But from 2010 to 2015, that's when your recovery and the boom happened. Property naik from 170,000 to 440,000. So that means if you masuk ngam-ngam at 2009, which is the slum years, at 170, and you exit in 2015, you would have made a cool 270,000 ringgit gains tax-free, because after 6 tahun tak ada RPGT, right? On 170,000 investment. So you bayar 170, you buat 270. Of course, you tak bayar 170, you took a loan, right? You probably bayar lebih kurang 17,000 saja, right? And then you buat 270,000 over 6 years. This is what happened bila you beli dekat slum and then you jual waktu dekat peak. Okay. Now, after the peak, then kita ada slow down, right? And then at that point of time, orang yang beli kat peak tu, dia akan mula jatuh sikit sebab harga dia tak rational. And today, last year, I would say average transacted is 370,000. So, if you are the sucker who buy under the scheme cepat kaya, whereby you buy because things are hot at that point of time, you would have bought at 440,000. And if you want to sell today, you are looking at a 70,000 punya loss. So which is why, like I said, if you want to speculate property, you must understand property market cycle and timing. If you don't understand market cycle and what contribute to market cycle, you cannot speculate. Otherwise, you're going to get your hand burned. Okay. So this is a real example of a property that I sendiri beli. Okay. Beli pada 150,000, lepas pegang 4-5 tahun baru naik 20,000, right? 30,000. But the next 5 years, it went up by 270,000 in just 5 hingga 6 tahun. Why? You got a recovery dengan boom, right? Which is a property buran lah. And then after that, dia mula turun balik because after orang tengok harga 440,000 ni tak masuk akal, it now goes back to a price point, but it's not going back to 150,000, which I, 140,000 that I purchased. It went to 370. So I'm still very happy, man. I still made 200,000 on one single property. Tapi for those suckers yang beli waktu market peak 440,000, today they are looking at a 70,000 punya loss. Okay. So guys, kalau you want to, orang cakap, do a educated speculation, you must understand property market cycle dengan timing. Now, so I'm going to show you an example of the best properties you could buy right waktu tengah slump tu, and you buy before the recovery, lepas tu exit at the peak, right? So you know this example, this is Park Residence. This is the best performing high rise dekat Malaysia in the last 10 years. Right? 2009 you can beli at 380,000 this property. In 2015, it went up from 380 kepada 1 million. Now, let me repeat guys, from 380 went up to 1 million. So that's 600,000 cash gains, tax free. Tak sampai 6 tahun. Okay. So to the best high rise, this is to me the best landed property. Okay. And this is Desa Park City, Xenia. I remember at that point of time 2009, we a bunch of my forum punya friends pergi tengok. Okay, pergi tengok. And you know, and this property dah siap guys. So dia dah siap ni, and orang tak nak beli pada tahun 2009 ni sebab tak laku. Right? At that point of time people are wondering siapa nak bayar maintenance fee mahal ni 7,800 ni kan. And basically all of my forum mates at that point of time cakap cannot make it lah this property. I tengok dah cantik lah property ni, tapi macam I also feel it's quite expensive sebab kepung dan tu 400,000 je. And here these guys are selling 630,000 although it's a different property. Bodoh kan. So none of us bought. Okay, you can buy zero down in 2009. Now guys, in 2015 property ni become 2.4 million. So you beli at 630 after all discount. You can sell 6 years later at 2.4 million. One single biji property will give you 1.7 million capital gain tax free. Lepas 6 tahun, again tak ada RPGT. Now guys, 1.7 million ni, I can buy a Lamborghini Urus for free. So, like I said, last time I'm a little bit more tak berapa cerdik. Today, hopefully I know slightly better. So today I won't repeat the same mistake lah. So, like I said, dulu waktu Islam tak nak beli, but I did buy a bunch of other property, so I didn't do too bad lah. I beli 20 lebih biji property kan, so it's not too bad for me, right? But I didn't buy the best property because I didn't know what I know hari ni. Okay. Now, so what I bought this one, Titi Wangsa Central, a few units. Okay, Titi Wangsa Central, a few units. So beli pada harga 240,000, again at the peak of a slump, completed 2011, in 2015 transacted all the way to 680,000 pun ada, but average I would say 630, 640. So this is 400,000 gains, one single property after just 6 tahun. This is the beauty bila you beli waktu slump and if you exit waktu dekat peak. So for me, as you know, I'm not a speculator, I'm a value investor. I tend to want to buy to keep for a long period of time until property tu dah tak ada booster baru. So for this property, ada MRT2 coming up, there's a mega project just next to it. So I'm going to keep it, I think, for as long as possible, most likely for the next 10 to 15 years before I even consider selling. Hopefully ada RM1 million. Okay. So guys, okay, just to give you a perspective, okay, during the slump, you akan nampak dia punya property punya kenaikan tu is naik negatif macam kat sini 98, 99 ataupun 1% macam ni. Ya, waktu 2009 ni 1% je kenaikan dia. So I beli pada tahun 2005 kat sini, right? So that's why I put my old photo there. So okay, my old photo very huggable, banyak isi kan. So more to love kata orang kan. I was probably about 80 kilos at that point of time. And then 5-6 tahun lepas I mula beli tu, I beli tu waktu slow down, right? Which is 2005 tu. And then kita ada slump 2009. And then boom, after that kita ada recovery dan juga kita ada buran. So because of me buying 20 biji lebih property before 2010, and imagine lah, macam Titi Wangsa Central naik 400,000, but average each property I bought naik purata 200,000 lah guys. And I beli lebih pada 20 biji, right? So that's how I made my first 5 million in the last property punya slump, which then followed by a property bull run. Okay. So guys, all I can say here is that, you know, waktu market slump tu is quite scary because everyone is telling you don't buy property, and naturally they have good reason lah sebab dia dengar semua benda tu, you know, macam, you know, there's not really much good news lah, right? So obviously people don't buy it. But whoever brave enough to buy in the last slump, okay, if you did my move, I went from a B40 punya lifestyle to a T1 lah, the top 1% lah, right? So again guys, history often favors the brave. If you don't try, you will always never know where your luck is going to be lah. And all I can say right now, today, as I mentioned just now, today we are at the slump, and that's for sure already. Okay, so if I were to summarize lesson bila cerita pasal timing ni guys, right? You have to understand first and foremost, kalau you buying over long term 15 to 20 years, you tak payah risau pasal nak enter waktu market peak ke, waktu slump ke, because at 20 years you akan dapat full circle. Okay, I'll give you an example, right? The guys who buy at the peak of 2005 kan, 2005 lah katakan, and walaupun harga dia mungkin jatuh sikit lepas 2-3 tahun tu, still make a lot more money after 2020. Okay, for those who bought at the peak of 97 kan, 96, 97 punya property market waktu tu peak, after 10 years, you still make more money. Tapi dia akan slump dululah. So all I can say here, over the long run, you insyaAllah takkan rugi kalau you beli property yang betul. FYI guys, and I want you to remember this number, the average property price growth dekat Malaysia for the last 29 tahun, from year 1990 sampai 2019, adalah 15% setahun. Our property price growth by 15% per year for 29 years, for 1990 to 2019. And that is already including dual recession, 97-98 and 2008-2009 global financial crisis. So if you main long term, insyaAllah tak rugi. One caveat lah. Now, number apa tu? So macam saya cakap tadi, again, kalau you tak tahu bila the next property buran, you just make sure that you buy to keep for the next 15 hingga 20 tahun. You beli 15-20 tahun, you takkan rugi guys. Bila you cuba beli tu jual for the next 5 tahun, you punya timing tu kena cantik. You must buy waktu selam saja. Okay. So if you can predict the next bull run, okay, if you can predict the next bull run, you can then position yourself betul-betul sebelum benda tu jadi. So it happened to me in 2008, 2010, tapi at that point of time guys, I have to be very honest. I tak tahu property bull run tu apa. I have no idea what is a property bull run. But I just know that I buy with cash flow. As long as my tenant can pay for my property, I will buy as many as possible. So kebetulan for me, I had a property bull run in the next 5 years and I become a multi-millionaire. I could quit my job yang gaji 18,000 tu. I could buy $1 million property kat Monkera, and you know, I could buy a Porsche before I was 35. So like I said, if you are lucky, you can get that. But you can also predict when is the next property bull run, which is, you know, going to happen. And my prediction here is going to start, recovery will start starting from next year. And I will show you the data sekejap lagi, why do I think that way, right? So don't worry. Now, having said that guys, there's one caveat with all of this timing. So you can believe 20 years and you hope you don't lose money, or you can buy before property bull run and you are hoping to make money. Tapi guys, big caveat, big if here is that the property bull run, if it happens for the next 5 to 6 years, cannot help you if you buy shit properties. So let me repeat guys. Property bull run is only going to be good to you kalau you buy good properties. And the good properties are properties that will at least meet a few of our 7 criteria, if not all. Okay. But if you dah tersalah beli a property, even 20 or 30 years cannot save you. You look at those apartments dekat PD, right? Dulu beli 200,000, today orang nak jual 50,000, 60,000 pun tak ada orang nak beli. After 20 years, people still don't make money. Which is why, like I said, if you follow 7 criteria, insyaAllah, you will be a beneficiary for the next, you know, bull run. And kalau tak bull run pun, you know, you still make a lot of money over the next 15 to 20 years. Only when you don't buy wrong property. Okay, you buy wrong property, buran cannot help you. You know timing, power macam mana pun, it cannot help you because your property memang tak boleh, cannot make it. Okay, so like I said, your life can change quite dramatically kalau you dapat berjaya catch the next park residence yang naik 600,000 tu dalam masa 6 tahun. Xenia naik 1.7 billion in just 6-7 years. Titiwangsa Central naik 400,000 in just 6 years. Right? So if you can catch the bull run, your life will change dramatically. Like I said, for me, I've been very, very lucky. I've been very, very fortunate. Property investment has been very kind to me. I was able to participate in the last slump and the bull run, and I made my first 5 million. Dapat berhenti kerja, and you know, I would say right now I can, you know, I'm living the dream life lah. At least my small punya dream lah, right? So. And of course, siapa yang dapat catch the next bull run will be part of the 1% club. 1% club simply means you are the richest 1% kat Malaysia lah. Alright. So guys, that's the summary on timing. So I hope you take down some notes because like I said, benda ni sangat penting. Especially for those who think they want to try to go and time the market. Okay, so that's the summary on timing. So you either buy long term, whereby you buy 15 to 20 years, ataupun kalau you nak try to short and time the market, you need to position yourself beli waktu slump and then exit at the peak of a property bull run. Okay, that's when you make the 1.7 million dekat Zenia, 600,000 of the park residents, 400,000 of the Titiwangsa Central. And those who do so over the next 5 hingga 6 tahun tu, your life will change quite dramatically lah. And hopefully for the better lah guys, just like it has happened to me. Okay, so I want to part you with the lesson when it comes to timing here is that I would say timing ni guys, even if I can show you the data to kejap lagi, right, why the property bull run is coming, why we are now at the slump, but ultimately there will be a lot of fears. Okay, but the reality here is that if you are a real investor, you nak beli waktu semua orang tengah takut, and you nak jual waktu semua orang tengah tamak, right? You want to be fearful when everyone is greedy, and you want to be greedy when everyone is fearful. And this is not coming from me, this is coming from my mentor Warren Buffett. Okay,